you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
You want some? I knew you'd go. Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf!
It's the Al Travis Show. We love having Colonel DOGE come to the program, Senator Jeff Howe, service guy, big time. So I know you were following along with this. Can you fill us in on what you understand the Supreme Court said about you don't need identification, a serial number on a weapon to make it legal in Minnesota? Do you understand how that all works?
Yeah, and this is, I'm reading, this is how I interpret what they said. I believe what they indicated is that if you can manufacture your own firearm. Okay. I think the biggest item is, and I think you got to go through there's a registration process on some of that, I believe, but I've never made my own firearm, so I haven't gone through that process. But I think the bigger deal is they delineated between removing a serial numbered firearm, having the serial number removed from the firearm and not having a serial number to begin with. And I think if you manufactured your own firearm, who cares whether you put a 1, a 15, a 35, 112.
Snap Al's gun into it.
You manufactured a lot of them, and it's 12,552.
Right.
It doesn't make any difference. I mean, so I think that's what they pretty much laid out there is that you still can't remove the serial
one if
number.
It hasn't. All right.
But if it never had one, I think you're good.
Okay. Because those serial numbers, if you will, are generated by the federal government, right? This is what they give Winston to make guns, and they can have these serial. It's a federal. You at least have somebody's making up the number, but the federal government's keeping it when you buy the gun.
When you buy the gun, when you transfer the firearm, the serial number gets recorded. Even though they can't have a searchable database of firearms, what difference does it make whether they got a serial number of your gun or not if they can't search it? But it's amazing that after the attempted assassination on Trump, they could come up with that. This is the guy at the gun the kid had right now.
And where he bought it.
30 minutes. Yeah. How many serial numbers do they have out there? Millions. Right?
Somebody got lucky.
They found that within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Going through each box, going through each one. It's not searchable, though, Al. You know it.
I know. No, I get it. Let me ask you quick thoughts on Texas and this redistricting, because it reminds me a lot of Minnesota. The 50 or so Democrats down in Texas flee the state. We're not going to work. We're not going to vote on this thing. We don't like the way this is going to go. Reminds me a lot of the first 3 weeks of Minnesota's legislature. Now, it's all about redistricting, which is kind of interesting. You see people hooting and hollering. It gets so bad in Minnesota, we literally don't even try anymore with our legislators to do it. It just goes to the court. The court's been doing it for so long because we can't get along. This is not new, is it?
No, it's not new. But I will say that at least Minnesota, if you look at there's a organization out there that looks at all these gerrymandering events. Minnesota's pretty much 50-50. They've done a fairly good job of keeping it right.
But that is because of the judiciary branch stepping in to do it, I believe.
Hey, that's true. That's true. But now, I don't know if you've taken a look. Did you look at Illinois? Illinois?
Yeah.
Illinois, you talk about gerrymandering. That thing goes, holy smokes.
It is absolutely crazy the way they did. Illinois, California's got some,
Yeah, so if you're going to go after the Republicans in Texas for doing what they're doing, then why don't you straighten out these other folks before you go apoplectic on Texas?
So you don't think there's some fake fawning here that they're like, ooh, I can't believe you're gerrymandering, when they know they've done it themselves? Now, it's a little interesting. I'll give them this. Usually this happens right after the census, right? And then this happens. It generally doesn't happen mid-cycle, but in reality, a state can do it. There's nothing wrong with it.
They say the law basically says that you have to do it at least every 10 years. So everybody
Yeah.
does it on,
Yeah.
but it doesn't say you can't do it more often than that. So you could do it after every election cycle if that's what, if you thought there was a big shift in population,
Yeah.
maybe you should do it.
Yeah.
And so with the people coming into Texas, Texas and Florida is getting a lot of folks coming in.
Yeah.
Who says they shouldn't do it?
No,
Every 5 years or 6 years.
I just think Minnesota, and our governor's talking about it. They are talking at Farm Fest. Some of these others are going to come out. I don't think Minnesota has a real right to talk much about what's going on in Texas and these other states. You do that, we'll do this. Minnesota, we're sitting pretty good. Like you said, you look at the people who study this stuff, relatively fair here in Minnesota. I give that the judiciary, but here's another topic quick before we're going to break. We find out naked guy gets into the Capitol because he had a door wedge, which I'm holding up for folks who watch radio, that keeps the studio door here open. I believe $1.50. I think he got 2 for $3 because I was feeling pretty good that day. How mad are you? You were one of the first people on the program after the shooting of the Hoffmans and the Hortmans. You literally shared with us that cops showed up at your door. You looked at your camera, opened the door. You didn't take any precautions. Could have been you. 6 weeks later, the Capitol folks are allowed to be beaten with a foot wedge, with a door wedge. How upset. You should be so fuming mad. This is your life.
I coming from the fire side of the house, I've never liked those door wedges, right? Because you get a fire door that's supposed to close and latch, and somebody decides, well, it's bumping into my tray of dishes every time I come through. I'm just going to wedge that thing open. A fire starts, and now where it was supposed to give you time to get out or stop, it doesn't, because you put a wedge in it, and that's why we call them a 4-hour hold open device, is because after 4 hours nobody cares if the door is open or not anyway. But it's just unfathomable that we, after spending all that money refurbishing the Capitol, after doing all that work, we find out a few years later, well, we've got some problem with some door locks. And especially after what happened with
6 weeks earlier
with Hortmans and Hoffmans, and we sit here and somebody didn't raise the bar and have somebody walk around and at least check the 3 entrances and the 14 doors or whatever it was to make sure they were locked before they shut the lights off. Now we're down, I guess they're going to take it down to 2 entrances and 4 doors and the 2 entrances. That ain't
doing it.
Now. I mean, it's still if they come by and stick in the $2.98 foot wedge or door wedge, we didn't do anything. But I guess they are now going to put some contacts in there and make it so they can track that a little better and easier.
But this was driving me a little crazy, sir. My buddy's got a cabin up north, and when he built it, they put in I don't know what alarm company, but you got to put your secret code in. And if the little magnets from the window to window aren't touching, it'll go off like nobody's business. If the door doesn't have the 2 metal, they don't touch, it goes off like a crazy person. My buddy's cheap. This was not an expensive unit. You put a $250 million thing together for the Capitol, and we don't know if the door's closed? And then besides letting some guy, I'm sorry, Bob, the night watchman, first thing you got to do, walk around the whole darn building and touch the doors. Let's just make sure they're closed. This isn't rocket science.
Who's the chief cook and bottle wash of the Capitol security piece?
Thank you. I mean, and people like these guys. I like the state patrol.
The lieutenant governor? Isn't the lieutenant governor the one that's supposed to call the meeting? There, right?
We found out they weren't doing the meetings. They had like 1 meeting last year. And I get it. You're doing the same thing over and over again, but we just had 4 people shot, get together, say, we buckled up here?
Hey, Al, where was she when Walz was running around running VP? Was she at the Capitol? Where was she? Was she just setting up her own campaign for senator, governor, or what has she been doing the last 6 years?
I want you guys, because you guys are my friends, I want somebody to take this serious. I would like somebody, they don't need to get fired, but somebody needs to get something written in their thing. You're not doing a good job here. This This is crazy. Here's my thing, Senator. This guy gets in, naked guy with a foot wedge. The other guy, again, off bubble, he's not got his brains together, in my opinion, ends up planning it well enough to get a cop outfit, a cop-looking car, a mask, and he shoots 4 people. And he's off bubble. What if a really bad guy who isn't deranged wanted to come after somebody? It can't be as easy as a foot wedge. You know what I'm saying? What kind of planning? If that guy was planning, he would have said, there's no way that's going to get me in. But it did. You got to have more. I'm just saying.
I agree, but Al, we can raise all kinds of cane, but look what it's done with what have they done with the fraud? How much have they done with the fraud? Who has lost their job? Who's gotten a letter of reprimand for all the fraud? Not one.
You are good radio. We got to go to break. We're talking fraud right after this. He brought it up. It's Colonel DOGE of the Al Travis Show.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with Dust Lock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc. Midwest Money Management and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
Not that a lot of stuff doesn't get under my skin and gets me going, but this one's going to do it. It's Senator Jeff Howe with us. Senator, so the FBI, the federal government comes in and says, we're going to take a look at this housing stability thing going on at the Department of Human Services for Minnesota. It was a Medicaid thing, which is weird, housing and Medicaid, but okay, we figured it out, a way to doing it. But how poorly can we do it? They come in, they stick their nose under the tent, and the Department of Human Services shuts it down. We didn't stop payments. We shut this bad boy down. And I'm thinking to myself, tell me how wrong I am, sir, between, let me see if I can remember a few, child care fraud, adult daycare fraud, Minnesotan autism, clinic fraud, medical transportation fraud, overpayment unemployment insurance, frontline worker pay. You might have heard of Feeding Our Futures fraud. Amongst all of those, sir, we didn't stop a program. We didn't say this is so bad. How bad is this if we shut the faucet off 100%?
I'm telling you what, and the feds didn't even mention anything. They just said they were going to look at it, and all of a sudden, they shut the valve off. I mean, could you imagine the millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars we would have saved if Walz would have told his commissioner, hey, you best tweak this one down, at least off the big holes. Unbelievable that the feds just hint they're going to come in and look at this program, and they shut it off.
Let me throw some numbers, which are terrible for radio. Let's do this. In 2020, when they started, $2.6 million is what we said we were going to do. 1 year later, they wanted $21 million, a 10 times fold, and they're going to help 8,300 people. Keep that 8,300 in 2021. 2022, it goes to $42 million. 2023, $74 million. 2024, $104 million. And we're up to, every year an increase, 21,300 homeless people. So now I'm doing the math in my head, $240 million into the program. We went from 8,000 homeless people to 21,000, and we're still kicking. Is there any metric that says we're doing the job? We went from 8,000 homeless to 21, and we're spending more money.
Well, come on now. It's just like when you get a program like that, the more people you get on the program, the more successful the program is.
See, that makes...
It's the exact opposite of someone like you and me would think, that the more successful the program is, the fewer you have. But look at all the people in need, Al. Come on, you're gonna turn these people away if you don't have that.
See,
it's proven that they're out there in need because they're coming.
So okay, let's say that's true. That is crazy, but let's say that's true. We had 8,000 homeless, we're up to 21, but it's really working well for us. Let's just say that's true. Doesn't someone, and let's say Bob, the guy at Department of Human Services that was given this program, you're oversighting it, Bob. You're at $2 million plus 8,300 homeless people, we believe. Doesn't Bob the next year, when he gets 21 million, 10 times more money, have to show it's really working, boss? Look at the number of homeless people I found. Don't we have that conversation? Is that seriously what they're saying? How great we're spending our money. We got more homeless than we started.
No, look how many people we've helped. We've talked to these people out here, have talked to that many more homeless folks. So we're helping more people, Al. You look at this from the wrong viewpoint.
But sir, what is the end goal?
Perspective of, gosh, look at the people I'm helping.
How you got to set something up for radio guys. I talk for a living. You're telling me I can make that kind of change if I just roam the city talking to people aimlessly about housing. There's no goal in mind to get them into the housing. It's just I talk to them. That was the goal of this program, is to discuss programming with them. That's it. Not sign them up, not get them off the street.
That's what the goal should be, is I've got this many people off the street, and I've been successful, and I should get more funding because I'm successful at it, even though, really, am I finding more homeless people? How is this?
Sir, and so let me ask you this.
Where are they coming from, right?
Yeah.
And they moved in here and then forgot to pay rent, or they didn't realize that the rent had gone up. So, and don't get me going on my rent. The rent in St. Paul for my legislative apartment is going crazy. I can't fathom how people are continuing to rent down there.
Well, we can't get into that, but I want to say this program is run, when it's fraudulently run, the same way as half of these Feeding Our Futures. Oh, what, 9,000 people in your apartment? Don't worry about it. Here's a paycheck. Minnesota's autism thing. You got autism, here's a check.
There is a ray of sunshine.
What's that?
The Hennepin County Attorney, Moriarty, is not running for re-election.
That is interesting to me. That does say something.
I gotta read this little posting
Okay.
here on the Facebook deal. The Betamax, the HD DVD, and the Dreamcast were more useful and successful to human society than County Attorney Moriarty. I just laughed when I read that, but it's
true.
Who are we going to get though?
Let's see if it gets any better.
Next step?
Go from AG down to county attorney? I doubt it. I got to go. I'm out of time. We got to fix it, my friend. I appreciate you coming on. You get my blood pressure going. I am just steaming this morning. But I appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you coming on. We'll be in touch.
Always.
He's Colonel DOGE. We call him that. He's Senator Jeff Howe on the Al Travis Show.